Special message from Jess, delivered via her microbit. Hope you're reading this. Very sweet. Jess, what's a microbit?
Microbit is a little board, electronic board. It's got a circuit at the back and it's got lots of things in it like a compass, and you can plug it in, and it's got the reset button, and then this LED screen can display lots of things, and you can play games using button A and button B, and yeah, it's really cool. And it can connect via Bluetooth and just to the computer, and you can code it.
Cool. And what are the little holes at the bottom for?
You can plug more stuff into there, like speakers and stuff.
Very cool. So 2 days ago, Monday, I flew back from Brisbane to Sydney. I ran a workshop yesterday. I didn't snap. It was so full on. We had 34 people in the workshop, really full agenda, and I just didn't have the time and capacity to do any snapping. But today I'm staying with my parents. I'm here for 3 nights with Jess. I've got some podcast episodes to record today. We're doing 2, and the Wi-Fi is not good enough here. There's a lot of traffic noise in the background. So I've actually hired a service office. So I'm off to the service office now. So here's my little office setup today. It's just a small room in one of these business hubs where they offer a range of working spaces. It's about an hour and a half outside of the city of Sydney. You can see this is a fairly new and still developing area. There's a lot of new suburban area being opened up outside of this building. So it's a very new. When I first got here, the room they'd given me was almost like a boardroom, very flash room, big table, 8 chairs around it, concrete walls, and the echo was incredible. There was no way I was going to be able to record a good quality podcast there. So we tried 2 other spaces before eventually settling on this. Looks a bit more down market, but a much better space. The only risk now is that I've got other meeting rooms around me, and there's a little bit of background noise developing, but I can mute the microphone whilst we're recording the episode. So I just had a really interesting discussion with 2 people, one from inside an organisation and another who works with a vendor that specialises in learning transfer. And it was about the use of a bot to support learning transfer. So that was really fascinating. And what I like about a lot of the guests that we're getting on is that they're very grounded. There's certainly no bright, shiny new object syndrome happening, that people are very deliberate in the kinds of technologies and approaches they're choosing to use for learning solutions, and not pursuing the application of tools and technology and toys just for the sake of it. So I do wonder, maybe it's just the calibre of the guests and the projects that we're attracting, but I do wonder how much people really do get sucked into the shiny, bright new thing, or whether it's just something we're very conscious of avoiding in learning and development. Karen and I also recorded the introductory episode for the podcast. It's the second time we've done that. The first time we recorded a little introductory episode, it was more like a promo video, and I've got to say, now that we've got, I think, almost 9 episodes recorded, and we've had the experience of talking to guests and hearing some of the stories, the way we discussed what the podcast was all about and what people might get out of the podcast was very different, and I think I was happier with it. I think we've got some experience under our belt, and we have a sense of the kind of calibre of the stories people are going to share, and some of the things we've learned out of it that we hope our listeners will as well. So I've had some of my perceptions of the role of learning and development and some of the boundaries and how far we can push them shifted. Another observation is that to do something more impactful, more powerful, often doesn't take a lot of money and doesn't take a huge effort. We're seeing a lot of our guests taking an idea often from another discipline. So for instance, agile from software, or empathy building approaches, human-centered design approaches from the design domain, and starting to apply them often in small ways, just experiment with them and learn from them, And there's some really big gains to be had from just trying something a little bit different, a little bit new without having to over-invest. And it's great to see people stretch in these ways. So in a lot of ways, the podcast and the discussions we're having are really reinforcing my underlying optimism about the direction we're heading in learning and development. And yet, I still see learning and development being undervalued by business leaders. And in terms of my contribution to the profession, this is something that I would like to be part of shifting, that is helping business leaders to see the potential and the value that learning and development can add, and engaging and inviting their learning and development professionals to play a bigger part in achieving business results. It's one of the key reasons I've been working with a mentor around blogging and networking and promotion to try to reach out more to business leaders and learn how to talk effectively to them about the power and value of learning and development. So, second episode recorded for the day. Man, it was so invigorating, so exciting. I just want to capture the way this project is making me feel, hearing people's stories, hearing the good work. It's just so motivating, so inspiring, so exciting. I feel so blessed that I'm working with Karen and Amanda on this, and that we've got some great guests who want to share the outstanding work they've done. So I've got to run now too. It's my last snap of the day. When I got back from the serviced offices to my parents' place, I had a call for about an hour and a quarter about the upcoming AITD, Australian Institute of Training and Development National Conference. It's on the 7th and 8th of June, so just over 2 weeks away. And Shemaine Simpson is chairing day 1 of the conference, and I'm chairing day 2. So we had a preparatory call with the CEO of the AITD. So what's exciting this year? A couple of things are exciting. The conference is going to look and feel quite different to past AITD conferences because it's being held in partnership with Edutech at the fairly new 12-month-old International Convention Centre. Big centre, big overall conference, Edutech, 8,000 delegates. I think about 350 people currently registered for the AITD conference. But we get access to the whole of the large technology expo that goes with Edutech. So it's quite exciting. All right, so this is day 2, which I'll actually be chairing. We've got a couple of keynotes in the morning with just brief introductions being done, very brief by the MC. I've been asked to keep it more to traffic management and coordination rather than my role being around recapping and summarising themes and so on, which is fine. Then we've got 2 concurrent sessions in 2 different areas, which are actually on different floors. So people may want to be moving between those 2 streams. So again, clear instructions on timing and moving between the streams. And then straight after lunch, we've got these peer-to-peer roundtables. 9 round tables, 13, I think, round tables that people will move between. So there's going to need to be some tight management of that. So I'll have my work cut out for me, giving clear instructions and helping with the timing on those. And then after the afternoon tea break, we've actually got some really awesome speakers and excellent topics, closing with Wendy Perry, who's talking about the future of training and learning. So encouraging people to come back, be there for all of those sessions before the prize draw and close will be part of my job. It's actually a really jam-packed agenda, and I think Shemaine and my job is just to keep things moving along fairly quickly. It's a big venue, so helping people to navigate their way around the venue, although there's lots of support in place for that, making sure people know what's happening where and how to get between areas will be really important. They've worked really hard to get extra keynote speakers this year and to keep it relatively punchy rather than, the traditional 1 hour or 45-minute presentations. So tighter, higher volume of presentations. And of course, with our networking, blogging and other ways of getting information, there's always opportunity to get more information directly from the speaker or from other things they've already shared. So quite excited. I'm going to start sharing a bit more on social media about the conference. I think it will be an awesome experience with lots of networking opportunities and events around the conference as well. Okay, I'm signing off. I'm actually getting off everything now, all the devices, all the social media. I'm going to relax and enjoy my time with the family. Catch you tomorrow.